New impending crisis for FIFA after the World Cup tournament. What's FIFA Forward Enterprise? FIFA Forward Enterprise is a proposed commercial company that would effectively package much of FIFA's money-making business into a separate corporate entity. Welcome to the CEA network. According to reports published on July 28, 29, 2026, FIFA President Gianni Infantino wants FFE to handle major commercial assets associated with competitions such as the World Cup, including broadcasting rights, sponsorship, ticketing, and other revenue-generating activities. The proposed enterprise has been given an initial valuation of about $20 billion. The controversial part is that FIFA proposes to sell as much as 20% of FFE to private outside investors, potentially raising roughly $4 billion. In comparison, FIFA would retain at least 80% and therefore formal control. JP Morgan is reportedly advising on the project. The argument FIFA is making is essentially this: instead of relying primarily on the traditional 4-year World Cup revenue cycle, it could monetize part of the future commercial value of its competitions today and use some of that capital to increase payments to national football associations dramatically. That leads to another important element. Under the proposal, FIFA is discussing dramatically increasing development funding. Sources say that associations which take part may potentially receive as much as $40 million during the period from 2027 to 2030, combining standard FIFA forward financing with an additional fast-forward sum linked to the new model. For comparison, under the current FIFA Forward 3.0 program, each of FIFA's 211 member associations can receive up to roughly $8 million over the 4-year cycle. FIFA describes Forward as its principal football development program, so financially, the proposal is enormous. But this is precisely why it has produced such a serious political fight inside world football. Other issues raised by UEFA revolve around procedure and allegations of insufficient consultation. The Asian Football Confederation is understood to have objected similarly to UEFA's, arguing it was not consulted before the plan appeared in the open press. Opposition has also emerged elsewhere within football governance. Why this could become a historic FIFA controversy? There is a fundamental difference between selling television rights and selling equity. When FIFA sells World Cup broadcasting rights, the broadcaster gets those rights for a defined period. With FFE, investors would buy ownership in the commercial enterprise itself. If FIFA sells 20%, private investors could become economically entitled to part of the future profits generated from football's most valuable competitions. That raises a much larger question. Who actually owns the commercial value of the World Cup? FIFA, the 211 national associations, the confederations, the players and clubs, or football collectively? Experts believe it potentially represents a transformation of FIFA from primarily a non-profit governing institution into something closer to a global sports corporation, with private shareholders participating economically in its premier competitions. And there is another political dimension worth watching. Giving national federations potentially tens of millions of additional dollars creates an extraordinarily powerful incentive for many smaller associations to support Infantino's proposal. FIFA has 211 voting members, and each association, from Brazil and Germany to very small football nations, has 1 vote at Congress. But here's where a potentially wonderful schism would develop. It's more likely that the African, Caribbean, Pacific, or other smaller Asian leagues will support the bid. But what would that do for hegemony in the region? Digging into these potential ramifications will give your audience another glimpse into a larger geopolitical scene. That tension between football governance and football redistribution may ultimately determine whether FIFA Forward Enterprise survives. If the proposal proceeds, I think it deserves a much deeper examination, because FFE could represent one of the biggest structural changes in FIFA since the late 20th century.